Alright, Kat, you're actually going to start this now. Film it. Do it. Hello, people of the internet and Lily. Today, I want to talk to you about identity. First of all, I really appreciated your video on intersex people and disorders of sex development that you made last week. It gave me a lot of really cool insights, and I also didn't realize how many people in the world are actually intersex or have a disorder of sex development. So that was really interesting to find out too. Now, I know it seems like a really huge stretch to jump from intersex people to identity, but bear with me, I promise I'm going to make it work. So in your video, you mentioned that a lot of the intersex community doesn't actually identify themselves as intersex, but rather as people with disorders of sex development. That's what brings me to my topic, identity. You see what I did there? Think about the gender binary that exists in so many people's minds. So you've got male and you've got female. A lot of people don't realize that there is in fact a spectrum in between here. For me personally, I'm cisgendered, which means that my gender identity matches with my born sex. So I lay more on the female side of the spectrum, but I do a lot of stuff on the male side of the spectrum. Now think for a second about the sexual binary that exists in a lot of people's brains. On one side you've got heterosexual, and on the other you've got homosexual. And then people fail to understand the entire spectrum that is on either side and in between homosexual and heterosexual. I think that a lot of people like to create a structure for society and identities. It's very binary. It's one or the other, and there's nothing in between. And while it might help that person find comfort in what's happening and try to understand it, it's actually super problematic because it basically invalidates anybody that doesn't fit directly into one or the other. I think that there's 3 good steps a person can take in order to solve this problem of putting identities onto another that aren't necessarily their own. Step 1, don't ever assume something about a person's identity. I think that's pretty obvious, but I feel the need to say it because a lot of us make unintentional assumptions. I think that it's kind of rude when people come up to me and just out of the blue say, "Oh wow, you've got a really exotic look. What are you? Are you Chinese?" Don't take this to mean that you should never ask about a person's identity, because I think that there are certain cases where it's important. For example, when you're trying to figure out a person's preferred pronouns, it's totally acceptable to ask them about it. 3, and what I think is the most important step, is to be open to exploring and understanding different identities. So in the box below, I have put some links to videos and websites that explain identity. So if you're curious, feel free to take a look at those. Basically, if you've zoned out for the entire video, tune back in now. My point is that a person's identity is their own, and it's for them to understand for themselves and share when they want to. And as much as you want to try to understand it for them, it doesn't really work like that. I'll see you Thursday, Lil.